Hey, Bob Coppedge here, Simplex IT CEO, Crouchy Old Geek, and here's my rant and review for March 2026. And if you've been wondering, what I've been up to over the past month, well, first of all, that's kind of creepy, but the quick answer is some airplane travel, more car travel, a lot of conversations, couple of events, going to a bunch of events, a lot of thinking about where IT managed service providers are actually headed. And not just AI, also data and IoT and essentially just development. So first of all, really started off as far as the travel side goes. I was out down in Orlando in March for several days at the Exchange Conference in Orlando. That's one of the larger in-person industry events focused on MSP, managed service providers ecosystem, and it's really focused with more mature MSPs. Yep. The only way you talk about me and maturity is usually my age, but it's not about product demos. No, it's more about hard conversations, talking with a bunch of other MSP owners, vendors, industry leaders, but really talking about what's broken, sharing ideas, what's changing. And one of the things that we're really big on now is we all need to stop pretending that IT is good enough or settling for good enough, especially our clients. And but it's between there's the structured sections, informal breakfast, hallways, conversations, but it's reconnecting with peers because I've really been not doing a lot of that lately. But getting that unfiltered perspective on the state of managed services and giving that unfiltered perspective. Following week of that, I went to the GTIA, which is the largest non-vendor specific IT organization, and their North America Community and Councils Forum, their event in Chicago. By the way, they do every year this. They have the best overall industry review in the business because, again, they're not aligned with a particular vendor or technology. But really great to hear some of the insights, both on the development of data as a service, of course, AI. For the love of God, we get enough about the AI side of things. But at both of these events, I also spent time with vendors, with partners, dinner, smaller off conversations, talking about security, licensing, where vendors are investing, versus just updating slide decks, And those conversations matter because they shape what we think about as far as partnerships. And like we are right now really looking at what we're doing in 27. Uh, and yes, we're still moving to make improvements in 26, but 27 is what we're doing because we're always evolving. Um, Now, back home, we're also leading and hosting our own educational efforts. We did an AI fundamental for business leaders webinar, and the focus wasn't tools or hype, but it was practical conversations about what AI actually means in a business setting. And you could see there's a link somewhere here that'll show you that we actually recorded and posted that one. We also had an in-person event at our office about operational maturity and the hidden costs of good enough IT, where an organization is essentially just taking the absolute least that they need to get away. The blinking lights blink, so we're good. But we're talking about settling for good enough IT, not as a theory, but giving you examples of how good enough IT actually really isn't good enough when you take a look at the resilience of your organization, meaning you can adapt in terms of how you're managing risks and how you're taking advantage of opportunities regarding IT. So those were good. We're going to keep on doing those types of events, and you'll see more about those coming up. There was also a bunch of local, and for this purpose, Columbus counts as local because it's only 2 hours away by car, right? And these are events put on by Ohio X, GCP, IoT Sandbox, the British American Chamber of Commerce. It is a thing, and other organizations. There was IoT in the polymer industry, which is over in Akron, Agentic Hackathon, which was up in Cleveland, Agentic AI specifically in the manufacturing space, which of course was put on by the British American Chamber of Commerce. And then I also had time to attend the most recent meeting, the Akron Canton Advocacy Alliance, to discuss making sure how do we make sure that Columbus hears what small businesses in the Akron Canton area are focused on. And by the way, I still had to spend time in the office because the day-to-day stuff doesn't stop. So we have regular internal leadership meetings, because we're now into Q2. So we need to make sure that we're evaluating what we did in Q1 and what we're going to be doing in Q2. Hint, my rocks, we're an EOS shop, deal with AI and with data. Anyway, so, but we need to make sure the business is moving deliberately, not just staying busy. So if I look at March, it was a layering month. We have in-person industry insight, peer validation, internal alignment, continued focus on education, all feeding into what comes next. And that's where I want to go from here. By the way, you notice I'm not in my office and I'm not at my home. I'm in Chicago. Yeah, I wonder why. See you next month.